Oh my God. So, according to Shams Charania and Adrian Wojnarowski, Kevin Durant was offered. Well, no, a deal for Kevin Durant was offered. The Boston Celtics allegedly offered a Jaylen Brown package for Kevin Durant, which the Brooklyn Nets declined. And it's been weird. It's basically the fourth week since Kevin Durant offered a trade on June 30th, and there's been active discussions between Nets and interested teams in early July, but since then it has slowed down, and teams have seemed like they're thinking that Kevin Durant's going to stay. But as of right now, the Celtics have seriously emerged as a possibility to land Durant. The Celtics offered a combination of Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a draft pick to the Nets. The proposal was rejected. Brooklyn asked Boston in any proposal to include Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, draft picks, and one more rotational player. And I actually knew this. I saw something about this from last night, and I was like, oh, they probably offered Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, and maybe Derrick White. But if I'm the Celtics, fuck that. Fuck that. I actually think getting Kevin Durant's going to make your team worse defensively. And currently the Celtics are less inclined to include Smart along with multiple other players or picks or other assets. But the franchise is mulling over next steps on how to approach discussions. As of right now, the Celtics are a serious landing spot for Durant. They had tremendous interest in bringing him in and view him as a piece that could take over that final hurdle. Or could take them over that final hurdle. And look, this is a team that just came from the NBA Finals. And no, a Kevin Durant deal is not imminent. And as August and then September comes around the corner, we'll probably see more and more. But Sean Marks put an incredibly high price on Kevin Durant. And I think he's going to stick to that incredibly high price. But for me, I think it's just with every waking day that passes, it just confuses you a little because Brian Windhorst said it amazing. That Kevin Durant, arguably top 5 player in the world, there's this weird paradox that's been created. The value for Kevin Durant is so high that if you trade for Kevin Durant, you're gutting your team. And we saw Walker Kessler for first-round picks and a draft swap for and multiple other players for just Rudy Gobert. So that's somewhat increased the value market for Durant. And Kyrie's still there. But also ESPN first reported on Celtics entry as an interested suitor. And I really think at this point that Brooklyn, it's in their best interest to keep Durant. And Celtics, I would not get Durant, okay? You trade Smart and Brown, you trade your 2 best perimeter defenders, arguably. And you throw in Derrick White there, you're not helping each other. You're not helping anyone. So, for me, I think it's interesting to look at the situation as the offseason is 2 months. Not the offseason, but the offseason, what? Yeah, it's like we're a month in, and the NBA season's like 2 months away. I think at this point, I think Durant's staying. I mean, would I be shocked if he goes to the Celtics? Yes, of course. I think anybody would be shocked if he went to the Celtics. But I do want to say that this was a team that I know offense was their problem. If you trade, though, I know Brown, White, and Smart aren't your most offensive players, but they just needed secondary scoring. They needed off the bench scoring, which they addressed. And that's where I sit here, and I'm kind of flabbergasted that the Celtics would even do this. This is not really the Celtics. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is kind of the Celtics thing to do this, but I just think at this point they would be better if they ran it back. I think if Jaylen Brown went to the Nets, that'd be awesome for the Nets. The Nets would love themselves some Jaylen Brown, and I don't blame them. He's a great player. Now, I do think this kind of, I guess you could say could make things a little awkward in Boston, but I don't think so. I think everyone would understand. They're like, we were just inquiring, one could argue. We were just seeing what the value was there. And yeah, basically that's all I have to say about this situation. I don't know how many. I think somebody said you need 6 picks at least to trade for Durant. Are you willingly giving up 6 picks? I don't know. 6 picks is a lot of picks, and you're basically mortgaging your future for Durant to win a championship in the short term. But no, it definitely is interesting as all hell. Let me hear your thoughts.